All right, Jim. So the Wharton crew is here.
Yeah,
You got the athletes in and out all week. It's just kind of a free-for-all over here. I mean,
that's
what's
it. We've got a recovery station going for the Olympic trials. It's something we've done every year since '88 Olympics, and it's a pleasure to do it. You know, helping athletes, sharing information we've learned over nearly 20 years now, and trying to keep them in the game.
cool? Now, from when you started in '88 to now it's 2008, how have things changed for you guys?
A lot of what our work is very hands-on, very manual, very labor-intensive. So the muscles haven't changed in the human body, so our work hasn't changed. We've gotten a little more sophisticated about maybe having good energy drinks available for the athletes, or good food like they'll have here available for them, keeping a quiet space in their recovery or transition between rounds. And you know, we started off, oh my gosh, years ago maybe in the Olympic trials in New Orleans in '92, where we had like beer tubs full of ice that we borrowed from a local restaurant bar for cold tanks. Now it's gotten more sophisticated, where actually the Olympic Committee has put out cold tanks for recovery and things like that. So a lot of our early expressions into recovery have been picked up now by the organization.
Nice. Now, how did you guys get started?
Well, it's a very interesting start. Phil was an athlete, a scholarship athlete,
Phil's your
University
son.
of Florida.
Yep.
Yeah, University of Florida. And he, with Tommy Noheli, were running at the university, and a lot of other great athletes there. And he had developed a scoliosis, a spinal curvature from a lot of stress, a lot of left turns. Probably developed in high school, and we just saw the early stages when he started running more intensely in college competition. And I had come from architecture and planning, environmental planning and architecture and design, and we were looking at, you know, natural ways to try to develop this structure or reorganize the structure without doing the Harrington rod surgery, which is still a common surgery where you put rods down the back to try to straighten the spinal column. At 17 years old, he still could do that surgery. It wasn't too late, but then again, he's out of athletics for his life. So we took 4 years of, I went back to school, med school courses, exercise physiology, even massage therapy, and met a retired professor from Illinois, Aaron Mattes, and another professor, Dr. Michael Pollack, and put together a program on strength and flexibility conditioning. And with that program, it took us 3 or 4 years, we were able to see the spinal column straighten again. In the process, I was working with other athletes on the team, Dennis Mitchell, that led me to Michael Johnson. I traveled with athletes for many years, and in those early years, in the late 80s, early 90s, we were doing the flexibility work with ropes and things. We were the only one out on the circuit, and people thought we were going to break a leg, or, oh my gosh, what's this new thing? Of course, now it's become much more common, and we're just happy to still be out here sharing good information.
So now the ropes that everyone seems to have now, that kind of began with you guys?
Yeah, it did. And of course, the story with Phil is his curvature went from 33 degrees to less than 1 degree.
Wow.
And at 40 years old now, he's still out there training hard and getting ready for a Grandma's Marathon Masters in the fall. So he's healthy and doing good therapy.
And whereas most people in that situation probably wouldn't have been.
We have a clinic now in New York and in Mexico City and Flagstaff, Arizona at altitude, and we see a lot of, unfortunately, young kids or older people with scoliosis or spinal conditions that have come from not knowing exactly what to do in terms of natural rehab.
Cool. Now, how long did it take you to get to this point? I mean, we're here, and I mean, for people that aren't here, it's, you know, you have Meb in there, you have Lauren Fleshman, Lopez just walked in, John Rankin. I mean, all of these guys know you.
Yes.
They want to be here. I mean, did it take a while to get to that point?
It's many years of hard work in the trenches, doing good things, and then athletes spread the word.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're here, Tommy in New York is working on Okafor from the NBA team, the center for the Charlotte team, who we're looking at and kind of redress some issues and some irritations. You know, but track and field has always been our love, so we always try to make it, to the events, especially the ones that are once every 4 years.
Right.
An athlete has to be on target for that day, and so I think the evolution has been very interesting. In sports that you're not getting the support of an NBA or something, you want to help the athlete as much as possible. They don't have the infrastructure of a big team support.
Right.
So in swimming, in running, in track and field, you know, you want to be there to give the athlete as much support as they can because they're struggling too.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take a look inside.
Let's get
then.
back inside and see what's going on. Hey.